Hello, my friends, and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. I mentioned this fact before, and that is I have a soft spot for Germany, and I've been having it since my very young age. I think maybe I was about 3 or 4 years old. And I don't know, it was based on the movies I watched, the American movies on the Romanian television. And for whatever reason, I liked, as a child, the discipline of the German army. I didn't understand anything about anything at that point, but I liked the way they were portrayed in, I don't know, 1970s American movies or 80s or so on. And I liked the way they were, the military, organized, disciplined, dressed nicely with their Hugo Boss uniforms and so on. So I like that. Not designed by Hugo Boss, made by Hugo Boss. Yes, that Hugo Boss. Yes, yeah, that guy. Yes. Oh, that guy. Yeah. All right. So with that being said, I had a soft spot for Germany. Actually, my favorite player was for many years and still is Karl-Heinz Rummenigge. I always loved that guy. I liked the way he played, even though I never watched him live because Romanian TV did not broadcast. But anyway, making the long story short, I have something for Germany, for German philosophy, for Friedrich Nietzsche, for Richard Wagner, for the music and so on, their arts, and not only. I didn't stop at that. So I feel very angry when I see, I would call them criminals. I think they're criminals, and they are the politicians, the nowadays politicians, the leaders of Deutschland. Why? Because I think they destroy the nation for generations. And not only they destroy it, they 100% destroy the country's sovereignty to the United States of America. Now, Germany was never independent after 1945. Never. But now it's even worse. Even worse than I think it was in 1945. Why? For the reasons that now we can clearly see. The guys in Berlin do whatever Al Capone tells them. That is, shoot yourself in the foot whenever we tell you so. I will use 2 articles here just to show you how Germany killed its economy, its industry, at the orders of Al Capone against Germany's self-interest. Now, how do you call that? Big love, stupidity, or criminality. That's how I call it. I think it's a crime. I think the guys in charge of Germany who decided to follow through with the sanctions on themselves in the first place, not on the Russians, on themselves for someone else's interest, that's a crime. It's like, for instance, right now I would help the children and the family, the next door family, and not my family. That's a crime. That's a crime, that's neglect, that's abuse, however you want to call it. Under any kind of circumstances, that is a crime. So, let me show you 2 articles related to one another. One comes from Bloomberg. Germany eyes imports of Nigerian natural gas in Scholz visit. So this idiot, this average Joe infantile, actually, I think he's a criminal. I would categorize him as such because under his watch and his decisions, his country gets deindustrialized and gets in bad shape economically. Bad shape. So he is going to beg Nigeria for natural gas. Why? Because they were told by the boss to cut cheap gas from Russia against its own interest. And that's not only. That's not all. They buy liquefied natural gas from Al Capone at 3 to 4 times the price, my friends. Now that is crime. That's a crime. And the person who perpetrates a crime is called a criminal. I think the the behavior fits the term. Not only that, they blew up your Nord Stream 1 and Nord Stream 2 pipelines, and you didn't do anything. That's against your own interest again. You didn't do anything. They told you to cut natural gas, oil, and that cheap gas for your industry. You did it. The natural gas, the price for electricity and the fuel in Germany jumped like crazy. And what do? You subsidize. How? Borrowing from international banking systems to cover the extra, the premium that the German consumer should have paid instead. We know who's going to pay for that premium that right now supposedly you help the German consumer? His children, his great-grandchildren, great-great-children, and so on. This is a crime. Now, this is one article. Let me go to the other article, which comes from Russia Today, obviously, which says Germany wants gas from Nigeria. Scholz. Grappling with its own energy needs, the African country lacks the capacity to supply Berlin, an expert has told Russia Today. He is begging. Germany is begging Nigeria. What should Nigeria do? Well, Nigeria is going to probably ask Al Capone, and Al Capone will give them red line or green light. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz landed in Nigeria on Sunday as part of a two-nation tour of West Africa. The Chancellor's trip to Africa, his third since taking office in 2021, and his second this year, comes as Berlin seeks new energy sources as it transitions away from relying on Moscow for gas supplies amid the Russian-Ukraine conflict. And I'm quoting, Nigeria has the largest gas reserves in Africa. German companies have an interest in gas supplies from Nigeria and look forward to working with Nigerian gas companies, Scholz told the local newspaper, The Punch. My friends, you know where Nigeria is and where Germany is, my friends? All right. So Nigeria is somewhere here, okay? And Germany is somewhere here, okay, in Europe. Now, between here and here, you need to transport somehow that gas, liquefied natural gas. That costs money. Unless you build a pipeline again, crossing, Algeria, I think, is on top. Algeria, going through the Mediterranean and going to Germany, and that costs money and it takes time and still is going to be expensive. So this is what Germany is going to do. And if Al Capone considers that you gotta have no pipelines with Nigeria, they will blow it up. I'm not saying they did it before, but hey, someone will do it. And Germany will say, sorry, okay, we're going to try again. My friend, this is a crime. And Germany became a beggar. Why? Because Scholz and those guys in charge decided to cut their cheap gas from Russia, not to help Putin's war machine. What happened to the Putin's war machine? They found different markets around the globe, my friends. Supply and demand. Okay, so these guys are going to take from Nigeria, let's say gas, and whatever Nigeria was giving to other countries is going to take the supply from those countries, and guess those countries will go and ask for gas from whom? From Russia. And who's going to be screwed? Germany. Germany is going to have more expensive natural gas than before. So that means they will not be able to compete with other countries that have, cheaper natural gas, like let's say United States of America or other countries. So you screwed yourselves. Do you think it was planned? Even if it was not planned, you can't be so imbecile, such an imbecile, to do this. You can't, unless you're just a criminal. This is idiotic, my friends. This is idiotic. So Germany lost at every corner in this garbage with Russia. At first, they were pushed to react. They had to react because Al Capone told them, you got to react. They stopped receiving gas. Their pipelines got blown up. Ukraine will not extend the gas transit from Russia in 2024. Did you know that? So what does that mean? No gas for you. No soup for you. Done. I just read an article from the Ukrainians saying that their company, Gazprom, whatever it is, not the Russian ones, they will not extend the contract with the Russian transit of gas through Ukraine. That means Germany will have no more gas from Russia. Bye-bye. No cheap gas. You're going to have some gas limited from other countries at a premium. Do you think Nigeria doesn't know that you're fucked? They definitely know that. So what do you think they're going to do? Unless they are pressured by Al Capone to help them and not give them at 10 times the market price and give it at 9 times the market price, then I don't know what's gonna happen. And the Nigerians are idiots if they're not gonna take advantage economically, financially, free market, supply and demand. I know you need it, and you come to suck my thing now, and I'm gonna fuck you hard for this. Why? Because of past times, mind you, colonialism. No? Anyway, so here is my friends. But anyway, Germany lost its colonies, after the First World War, right? So maybe it's not such a hard feeling between the two, and between Africa as a continent and Germany. Nevertheless, my friends, that's how do you assess the German government's decision? First, definitely they are weasels, criminals, and at the payroll of Al Capone. They do whatever those guys say against their national interest, their nationals, their folk. Das Volk, is it? Gone, zero. Or their folk, doesn't really matter. Der das always is screwed. So, thank you very much, my friends. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just. Beggars!